Ladies, have you ever wondered why some women effortlessly attract high-quality men? Men who cherish, respect, and pursue them with unwavering devotion, while others find themselves stuck in cycles of disappointment, chasing love that never seems to last. It's not about luck, looks, or playing games. It's about value. A high-value woman doesn't chase, she attracts. She commands respect without demanding it. She sets the standard not just for the kind of man she allows in her life, but for the way she carries herself in every aspect of it. Tonight I'm going to share with you the 7 powerful habits that separate extraordinary women from the rest. The habits that naturally draw in the best men and create lasting, fulfilling relationships. But this isn't just about romance, it's about becoming the woman who thrives in every area of life. Because when you step into your power, everything changes. Your confidence, your energy, and the quality of the people you attract. A high-value woman carries herself with an undeniable presence. She walks into a room, and without saying a word, you can feel it. She knows who she is. She is not seeking approval or waiting for someone to tell her she's enough. She already decided that for herself. And because of that decision, everything about her shifts. The way she speaks, the way she carries herself, the way she responds instead of reacts. All of it stems from a deep, unshakable confidence in her worth. See, when you truly know your worth, you stop moving from a place of desperation. You stop bending over backward for people who refuse to meet you halfway. You stop shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. You stop chasing things that are beneath the level of what you deserve. Because a woman who values herself refuses to beg for a seat at a table she was meant to build. This kind of confidence is magnetic. It doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from assurance. Assurance in your own power. Assurance in what you bring to the table. Assurance that even if someone doesn't see your value, you do, and that's enough. And let me tell you something, men can sense it. The right kind of man is not drawn to insecurity. He is drawn to a woman who stands firm in her identity. A woman who doesn't need to be validated, but instead chooses to be valued. That's why a high-value woman doesn't waste time proving her worth to people who were never meant for her. She doesn't lose sleep over someone who couldn't recognize her greatness. She chooses herself first. And in doing so, she sets the standard for how others should treat her. See, when you walk in confidence, you don't beg, you don't chase, you attract. The kind of man you want, a strong, secure, purpose-driven man, isn't looking for someone who is constantly doubting herself, second-guessing her place in his life. No, he is drawn to a woman who knows her value and lives in that truth unapologetically. Because when you know your worth, you carry yourself differently. You speak with authority. You move with certainty. You don't entertain things that don't align with the life you are building. And I know some of you are thinking, but I don't feel that confident yet. Let me tell you, confidence is not something you wait to feel. It's something you decide to step into. It's a choice. Every single day you have to wake up and remind yourself who you are, because if you don't define yourself, the world will try to do it for you. If you don't establish your worth, you will constantly allow people to undervalue you. So you have to make a decision to stop doubting yourself, a decision to stop walking around like you are less than when you were made for more, a decision to stop lowering your standards just to be accepted, a decision to walk boldly in the identity of a high-value woman, because when you do that, you will see everything shift. Let me tell you what happens when you step into this kind of confidence. You will stop seeking love from empty places. You will stop being available to people who don't respect your time. You will stop allowing situationships, half-hearted efforts, and lukewarm love to take up space in your life. Because a high-value woman doesn't settle for pieces of love. She doesn't settle for potential. She doesn't settle for almost. She knows that she is worth more than that, and she has the strength to walk away from anything that does not reflect her worth. And when you walk in that truth, the right man will recognize it. He won't play games. He won't string you along. He won't leave you questioning where you stand, because a man who is truly meant for you will see your worth and rise to meet you. You won't have to convince him. You won't have to prove yourself. He will know that a woman like you is a blessing, and he will act accordingly. But it all starts with you. It starts with how you see yourself. It starts with how you speak to yourself. It starts with the standards you set and the boundaries you uphold. Because at the end of the day, the way you allow people to treat you is simply a reflection of how much you believe you deserve. So if you want to attract the best, you have to become the best version of yourself first. That's the foundation. That's the key. Because confidence is not just about how you look. It's about what you carry on the inside. And when you carry true self-worth, you don't just attract any man. You attract a man who sees, values, and honors the queen that you are. A high-value woman is not ruled by her emotions. She rules over them. She is not controlled by what happens around her. She is anchored in who she is. Life will test you. Relationships will challenge you. People will push your buttons. But a woman who understands her worth does not allow external circumstances to dictate her internal peace. She moves with wisdom, not impulse. She responds. She doesn't react. She carries herself with grace because she understands that emotional stability is power. See, when a woman lacks emotional control, she hands over her power to everything and everyone around her. If someone ignores her, she spirals. If a man pulls away, she panics. If things don't go her way, she breaks down. And before she knows it, she is operating from a place of fear, not strength. But a high-value woman knows better. She refuses to be tossed around by fleeting emotions. She has learned how to master her feelings instead of being mastered by them. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't feel deeply. Oh, she does. She loves hard. She cares. She invests. But she also understands balance. She understands that her emotions are real, but they do not always tell the truth. She understands that just because something feels overwhelming in the moment doesn't mean it defines her reality. So she gives herself grace, but she also gives herself boundaries. She does not allow her emotions to make decisions that her wisdom should be making. A man notices this. A strong, purpose-driven man is drawn to a woman who knows how to handle herself with composure. Not a woman who is easily shaken, not a woman who falls apart at the first sign of difficulty, but a woman who has trained herself to remain steady even in uncertainty. That is attractive. That is powerful. That is what makes a woman stand out. And let's be real, relationships will test you. Love is beautiful, but it will also stretch you. If you are led only by your emotions, you will find yourself constantly doubting, overthinking, and reacting in ways that push away the very thing you desire, because the truth is, men respect peace. A high-value man is not looking for chaos. He is looking for a woman who brings stability, not storms. You ever wonder why some women keep losing good men? It's not because they weren't pretty enough. It's not because they weren't successful enough. It's because they let their insecurities, fears, and emotional outbursts take control. A high-value man is not going to build a future with a woman who brings war to his spirit instead of rest to his soul. He's not looking for perfection, but he is looking for emotional security. A woman who knows how to handle challenges with wisdom, not drama. A woman who can express her feelings without turning every disagreement into a battlefield. A woman who can have tough conversations without tearing the relationship apart. And don't get it twisted, being emotionally mature doesn't mean you stay silent. It doesn't mean you suppress your needs or pretend to be okay when you're not. No, it means you communicate with clarity, not chaos. It means you express yourself in a way that builds, not destroys. It means you have the patience to pause before you react, the wisdom to choose your battles, and the strength to walk away from what disturbs your peace. Because a high-value woman protects her peace at all costs. She doesn't engage in unnecessary arguments. She doesn't waste her time proving herself to people who refuse to understand her. She doesn't give her energy to dysfunction, and because of that, she is able to attract a man who respects her, values her, and meets her on the level of emotional maturity that she operates from. This is why some women experience deep, fulfilling love, and others find themselves in constant cycles of heartbreak. It's not just about finding the right man, it's about being the right woman. A woman who doesn't let her emotions drive her into desperation. A woman who doesn't chase, cry, and beg for love that isn't freely given. A woman who is strong enough to stand firm in her worth no matter how she feels in the moment. And when you step into that kind of emotional power, everything shifts. You will no longer be available for relationships that drain you. You will no longer entertain men who play games with your heart. You will no longer waste your time trying to force love where there is no mutual effort. Because a high-value woman doesn't plead for love. She receives it effortlessly from the right man who sees her for who she is. A high-value woman is always evolving. She is never stagnant, never stuck, never waiting for someone else to give her permission to grow. She understands that she is her own responsibility, her happiness, her success, her purpose, her fulfillment. All of it begins and ends with her. She does not sit around waiting for a man to come along and complete her, because she is already complete. A man can add to her life, but he is not the foundation of it. See, a woman like this doesn't rely on relationships to define her worth. She isn't desperate for validation, and she isn't chasing love like it's a missing piece of her existence. She has built something for herself. Something solid, something meaningful, something that no one can take away. She has dreams, she has goals, she has a vision for her life that extends far beyond just being someone's girlfriend, someone's wife, someone's better half. She is already whole, and that is what makes her so attractive. A man who is secure, a man who is strong, a man who is walking in purpose. He is not looking for a woman who has nothing going for herself. He is not looking for a woman whose only focus is getting into a relationship. No, he is looking for a woman who knows where she's going. A woman who is invested in her own personal growth. A woman who is constantly leveling up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, because that kind of woman brings value. That kind of woman is an asset, not a liability. That kind of woman is irreplaceable. And let's be real, a high-value woman doesn't have time for mediocrity. She is not wasting her energy on men who are inconsistent, confused, or stagnant. She is too focused on becoming the best version of herself. She understands that a healthy, successful relationship is not built on just attraction. It's built on alignment. And if a man is not growing, if a man is not pushing himself, if a man is not committed to his own purpose, then he is not a match for her. She wants a partner, not a project. She wants a man who can walk beside her, not someone she has to drag along the way. See, personal growth is not just about success. It's about mindset. It's about discipline. It's about refusing to settle for less than what you are capable of. A high-value woman understands this, which is why she keeps herself challenged. She reads, she learns, she invests in herself. She is not spending her time gossiping, scrolling endlessly through social media, or getting caught up in drama that adds no value to her life. She is too busy building, too busy elevating, too busy expanding her mind and her world. And because she is committed to growth, she expects the same in a man. She does not entertain laziness. She does not entertain excuses. She does not entertain a man who is comfortable being stagnant. Because when a woman is operating at a high level, she cannot and will not settle for a man who refuses to grow. She needs a man who can lead alongside her, a man who is also invested in becoming his best self. Now, some women hear this and think, well, what if I focus on myself and no man comes along? Let me tell you something. The right man will find you in your growth, not in your waiting. When you are walking in your purpose, when you are chasing your dreams, when you are busy building your own empire, the right man will recognize that and want to be part of it. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. You don't have to convince. Because a real man, a strong man, a high-value man, he is attracted to a woman who is already moving in the right direction. And when that kind of man sees a woman who is self-sufficient, driven, and confident in her own path, he won't feel threatened. He will feel inspired. He won't try to slow her down. He will push her forward. He won't hold her back. He will rise to meet her level. That is why personal growth is so important. Because the version of you that is meant to attract the right man is not the version of you that is settling, doubting, or waiting. The version of you that will attract the best love is the version of you that is becoming the best you. So don't wait, don't settle, don't put your dreams on hold because you think love should come first. Become the woman who attracts the life and love you deserve. Because when you grow, everything around you must rise to meet you. And that is the true power of a high-value woman. A high-value woman is not trying to be anything other than who she is. She is not wearing a mask, pretending to be someone she's not, or altering herself to fit a man's expectations. She knows that her power is in her authenticity. She moves in her own skin with confidence, with grace, with ease, because she understands that her true beauty, her true magnetism is in her ability to be real. See, the world will try to convince you that you have to be something else to be loved. That you have to be louder or quieter, softer or stronger, more independent or more submissive, less of this and more of that. The world will tell you that in order to be chosen, you have to perform, you have to impress, you have to prove your worth. But a high-value woman is not auditioning for love. She is not performing, not pretending, not playing a role. She is simply being who she was created to be, fully and unapologetically. And that is what makes her irresistible. That is what makes her unforgettable, because she is not trying to fit into anyone's mold. She knows that the right man will love her for who she already is, not for who she tries to be. She doesn't chase love. She attracts it naturally because she is at peace with herself. She is not battling insecurity, not doubting her worth, not questioning whether she is enough. She knows she is enough. And because she carries that certainty, she moves differently. She embraces her feminine energy not as a weakness but as a strength. She knows that being feminine does not mean being passive, does not mean being weak, does not mean being powerless. No, her femininity is soft yet strong, gentle yet unshakable. She does not have to raise her voice to be heard. She does not have to fight for attention. She does not have to demand respect, because her presence commands it effortlessly. A high-value woman is not afraid to be vulnerable. She understands that true strength is in openness, not in walls. She does not operate from a place of fear, but from a place of security. She is secure in her emotions, secure in her desires, secure in what she brings to the table. She is not afraid to express love, not afraid to receive love, not afraid to let someone in. She knows that her softness is not a liability, it is a gift. And the right man will recognize that gift and handle it with care. And let's talk about energy, because a woman's energy is everything. A high-value woman does not carry desperation in her spirit. She is not seeking validation. She is not proving, not persuading, not chasing. She leans back and allows. She is not running after what is already meant for her, because she knows that what is truly for her will come in alignment with ease. That's why she doesn't waste time trying to force things. She doesn't fight for a man's attention. She doesn't beg for someone to see her worth. She does not lower herself for love, because real love meets her at her level. And the right man, the man who is secure in himself, the man who is looking for something real, the man who is ready for depth, not games, that man sees her and knows she is different. He knows she is not like the rest, because she is moving from a place of wholeness, not lack. He knows she is not trying to manipulate, not trying to play hard to get, not trying to control. She is just being. And that energy is unmatched. That energy commands pursuit. That energy is what separates a high-value woman from the rest. Some women wonder why they keep attracting the wrong kind of men. They wonder why they keep getting played, why they keep being treated as an option, why they keep being left confused and disappointed. But let me tell you something. A man can feel your energy before you even speak. A man can sense if you are moving from a place of confidence or a place of insecurity. He can tell if you know your worth or if you are waiting for him to define it for you. And that is why it is so important to operate from authenticity, because when you are truly yourself, you attract a man who is drawn to the real you, not the version of you that you think he wants, not the version of you that you molded yourself into just to be chosen, not the version of you that is hiding, shrinking, or adjusting to fit someone else's standards. No, the man who is meant for you will be drawn to your true essence. He will see your authenticity and honor it. So don't shrink yourself, don't water yourself down, don't shape yourself into something you are not, just to be accepted. Stand firm in who you are. Walk in your truth. Move with certainty, with grace, with ease, because the love that is meant for you will never require you to be anything other than yourself. A high-value woman is not afraid to set standards. She does not apologize for having expectations, and she does not compromise on what she knows. She understands that boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about protecting what is valuable. And she knows that she is valuable. See, when a woman lacks boundaries, she invites disrespect into her life. She allows inconsistency. She tolerates half-hearted love. She accepts the bare minimum and calls it effort. And before she knows it, she is drained, confused, and wondering why she keeps attracting men who do not truly value her. But a high-value woman, she does not entertain anything or anyone that does not align with her worth. She does not waste time on relationships that feel like a guessing game. She does not stay where she is not being fully cherished, because she understands that what she allows is what will continue. A woman like this does not give unlimited access to men who have not earned it. She does not answer every call, does not respond to every message, does not make herself available at a moment's notice just to keep a man interested. She does not give the benefits of commitment to a man who is not committed. She knows that her time, her energy, her love, it is all precious, and she is careful about where she invests it. Because a high-value woman is not desperate for attention. She is intentional about connection. And men can feel this. They can sense this, the difference between a woman who is waiting to be chosen and a woman who knows she is the one doing the choosing. A man respects a woman who respects herself. He values a woman who values herself. And when a woman moves with standards, she naturally attracts a man who is willing to rise to meet them. Because a man who is truly serious about you will never be intimidated by your boundaries. He will appreciate them. He will see them as a sign of self-worth, not stubbornness. But when a woman lowers her standards out of fear, fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear that she is asking for too much, she sends a message. She tells the world that she does not believe she is worth more. She tells the man that he can put in less effort and still have access to her. And once that cycle starts, it is hard to break, because people will treat you exactly the way you allow them to. A high-value woman understands that patience is power. She does not rush. She does not settle. She is not afraid to walk away from anything that does not align with her worth. She knows that being alone is better than being in the wrong company. And because of that, she is selective. She is discerning. She does not ignore red flags just because she wants love to work. She does not accept potential when a man's actions show otherwise. She does not build her relationships on hope alone. She builds them on real effort, real consistency, real alignment. And the truth is, the right man will recognize this. He will not run from a woman with standards. He will rise to meet them. He will not see boundaries as an obstacle. He will see them as a blueprint for how to love her properly. Because a man who truly values a woman does not want the easy route. He wants the right route. He wants to know that when he earns her love, it is because he showed up fully, because he proved himself worthy, because he gave her the love she deserves. But a woman with weak boundaries, she will always find herself in situations where she is giving more than she is receiving. She will always feel drained, always feel unappreciated, always wonder why men lose interest or take her for granted. Because when a man sees that a woman is willing to accept anything just to keep him, he will give her the bare minimum. And that is why a high-value woman never lowers her standards. She stands firm. She moves with clarity. She is kind, but she is also clear. She is open, but she is also selective. She is loving, but she is also wise. And because of that, she creates space for the right man to come into her life, the man who will see her worth, honor her boundaries, and love her the way she deserves to be loved. Because a woman who knows her worth will always be loved at the level she believes she deserves. A high-value woman understands the power of peace. She does not live in chaos, and she does not create it. She knows that real strength is not in how loud she can be, not in how much drama she can stir up, not in how well she can argue or prove a point. No, her strength is in her ability to remain calm, to remain grounded, to remain at peace in a world that constantly tries to pull her into disorder. See, a woman who moves with peace carries a presence that is undeniable. She does not react to everything. She does not allow outside circumstances to shake her inner world. She does not entertain unnecessary conflict because she knows that her energy is too valuable to waste on things that do not serve her. She has worked too hard to build her peace, and she is not about to let anyone come in and destroy it. And when a woman operates from peace, she attracts differently. She does not pull in men who thrive on toxicity, who enjoy the roller coaster of dysfunction, who need constant arguments to feel passion. No, she attracts men who are also grounded, men who are also secure, men who are also looking for something real and stable. Because a man who is truly ready for love does not want a war, he wants a home. He wants a place where he can rest, where he can be himself, where he can find comfort. And a woman who carries peace, she is that home. But let's be clear. Peace is not about being silent. It is not about suppressing your emotions or allowing disrespect just to keep things smooth. A high-value woman does not avoid confrontation out of fear. She knows when to speak, how to speak, and what battles are worth fighting. She understands that some things need to be addressed, but she does it with wisdom, not with reckless words. She does not let her emotions control her. She does not allow temporary frustration to make permanent decisions. She moves with intention, with grace, with strategy, and because of that, she is deeply respected. She is not the woman who is always caught up in drama, always dealing with messy relationships, always attracting men who bring stress into her life. She has built something for herself, a life of stability, of joy, of purpose, and she is not about to invite someone into her life who will disrupt that. She is selective about the kind of energy she allows around her. She does not entertain men who thrive on inconsistency. She does not engage in emotional games. She does not chase or beg for clarity, because a woman of peace does not live in confusion. And let me tell you something, a man who is truly looking for a life partner, a man who is serious about love, a man who is ready to build something real, he is not looking for a woman who brings chaos. He is looking for a woman who brings balance, a woman who can hold a conversation without turning it into a shouting match, a woman who can handle difficult moments without losing herself, a woman who knows how to communicate with maturity and emotional intelligence. The truth is, a relationship should not feel like a battlefield. Love is not supposed to be a constant struggle, a cycle of breakups and makeups, a never-ending test of who cares less. Love is supposed to feel safe. It is supposed to feel like a place you can come back to and exhale. And that is why a high-value woman does not settle for a man who cannot bring peace into her life. She does not tolerate a man who thrives on confusion. She does not engage with a man who is inconsistent, unclear, or emotionally unavailable, because she knows that peace is non-negotiable. And when a woman carries peace, she becomes unforgettable. She becomes the woman a man does not want to lose, because he knows that in a world full of noise, full of distractions, full of women who bring nothing but stress, she is different. She is a place of clarity, of warmth, of refuge. She is the woman he can trust, the woman he can open up to, the woman he can build with. Because a high-value woman is not just a partner, she is a blessing. So she guards her peace, she protects it. She does not let just anyone have access to it. Because a woman who has built peace within herself will never allow someone to come in and destroy what she has worked so hard to create. And that is why she attracts the best, because she does not settle for less than she deserves.